Welcome back to another episode of the Salty Nerd Podcast. This episode, we're going to be discussing Westworld, Season 3, Episode 6, Decoherence. And I am joined by my panel of nerds, Matthew Kadish.
Hello.
Author extraordinaire, Juju.
Hello.
And Matt Vader, 74, the barbarian himself. What's up, man?
What's up, Boo? How are you?
God, we're going to be talking about Westworld, a show that you hate.
Oh, I hate it. I loathe this show.
What did you think about this episode?
I don't even remember enough about it to discuss it, really.
Ouch, wow. Really?
There were some cool Transformers and stuff in it, right?
At the end, yeah.
So
Why don't we have Kadish set it up first?
Yes, Kadish is really good at setting up, so we're going to have him
Loves talking.
set the table for us.
Yes. So this is episode 6, Decoherence. And we only got 2 more episodes after this one for the season.
That's it, really?
Yep. So
God.
a lot of stuff went down in this episode.
Yep.
Basically, we had 2 different storylines going. We picked back up with Maeve after she got cut in half by a samurai sword. And Sirach basically gave her one more chance to help him stop Dolores. Otherwise, he's going to mess her stuff up.
Just obliterate her, basically.
Yeah.
Delete.
And basically Maeve says, if you want me to stop Dolores, I need what she has. And he's like, what's that? And she says, help. So Sirach agrees to kind of resurrect her old crew to kind of help her take on the multi-Dolores. Dolori? Is that what they are?
That's good. The Dolores.
The Dolori.
And Maeve, because she's not in her body anymore, she's back in the simulation of World War II world.
Yeah.
And so she's kind of chilling out there until Sirach kind of like resurrects her and her crew. And while that's going on, Haloris,
Yeah.
Charlotte Hale Dolores,
Dolores.
they call her Haloris.
Yep.
She's doing her thing where she's trying to basically keep Sirach from fully taking over Delos Industries because basically the Dolores Prime, I guess is what we're calling her. She basically wants the information from Delos in order to make more of their kind. Mm. And when it comes to stopping that, Sirach is basically, as soon as he takes over the company, he's going to delete everything. He's just going to purge all that, intellectual property to keep Dolores from getting it. So Haloris is kind of in a ticking clock situation where she's got to try to, get this information out of Delos before Sirach can destroy it. And while that's going on, we also have William in a psych ward, and he's going through this like holographic therapy type stuff. And it was probably one of the more interesting scenes in the series where basically he's in a room with all the different versions of himself, like him as time. Yeah. Him as a young boy, him as, the William that we saw played by Jimmy, what's his name?
Season 1.
Yeah.
Season 1 William.
Yeah. Season 1 flashback William. And then we see the, fine, upstanding businessman William, and then the man in black William. And it's all being moderated by his former boss and father-in-law.
Yeah.
And
which was pretty funny.
Yeah. And it was really interesting to get to see Ed Harris play against Ed Harris.
Yeah. It was
in multiple
really
versions.
Good quips between the group. It was really funny to watch.
And then he literally kills every single version and brutally beats the snot out of Jimmy, the Jimmy version, which was kind of a trip.
I think it's funny because like towards the end of that scene when it kind of cuts away and then we catch up with Dolores and stuff, Ed Harris's Man in Black William is kind of like, he's like, well, I guess there's only one thing left to do. And then he just goes full ham on himself.
And Bernard and Stubbs end up liberating him.
Yeah.
And so like he's now teamed up with those guys because his big revelation once he killed all the old versions of himself was that he's the good guy.
Yeah.
And so like something's going on there where he's going to be the one to take on Dolores or Sirach or we don't quite know yet.
Are we seeing the Dolori?
Yeah.
The DeLoreans?
The DeLorean. I like that better. Yeah. DeLoreans.
Or so are we going to see a redemption arc with him? Are we going to get
I think the whole point of this episode was he doesn't want redemption. He doesn't care about redemption. Everything that happened before now is just water under the bridge. It doesn't matter. He basically said like the only thing that matters is what I'm going to do right now and in the immediate future. And but I happen to think this was the most badass episode we've had in a while because the ending where basically Sirach discovers that Charlotte Hale is actually Dolores.
Yeah.
and he just like unleashes on her, and then Dolores basically has to fight her way out of Delos.
And the way that he found out that she was Dolores is because Dolores cared more about her family than Hale did.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, that was the giveaway.
My question was going to be, how did he find out exactly? And then it's like,
Yeah, because
he was like, the real Hale would have never checked in on her son while all this was going on.
Yeah. Which is, that's kind of sad to think about that. Because you think of Dolores, at least I think of Dolores as being kind of cold-hearted towards that. She cares about the other hosts more than she cares about human life. I get that vibe from her that throughout the last couple of seasons. And to have a version of Dolores, it's not Dolores Prime, but it's a version of Dolores who has found some kind of humanity to the point where it almost seemed like she was going off on her own thing. She didn't want to play this game anymore. She wasn't really on Dolores' side.
She was also afraid of dying.
Yeah, she was afraid of dying. Like, she kind of became a better version of Hale than Hale.
Yeah.
So, although, like, the whole thing about, Hale not caring about her son, I think is kind of a little bit undercut by that final message that she tried to send out from the park where she was singing that lullaby to her kid. So I think like Sirach didn't know Hale as well as he thought he did.
Well, maybe too. The other thing is like when the chips are down, you start thinking about what really matters to you. So like as a businesswoman, when everything was running fine, she was some cutthroat, industrial espionage type person. But then when she realized that her life was on the line, she was like, "My son is what's really important to me," and then she died. And we don't get to see what she may have become if she ever escaped. And it seems like Dolores kind of took over that role, and she was like, "Oh, I actually found some humanity. I care about my husband and my son, and I want to protect them." And then it tragically ends with an explosion.
We got to see some interesting stuff here, though, in the sense that the Maeve-Dolores rivalry got really jacked up in this episode because basically Sirach, he found the original Dolores Pearl that Bernard shot when he killed Dolores in season 2. And so he somehow salvaged a bit of it, and Maeve was actually able to interrogate Dolores in the construct. And so like they had a nice little kind of like tete-a-tete face-off. And while that was going on, Dolores finds out that Sirach is trying to create these new replicants to help stop her. And so she goes in and she actually kills off a very important character. I'm going to let Jude take this one because she was so affected by it.
Hector?
Yeah, Hector.
Oh, was it? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so like basically Hector comes back and he's going to be...
5 minutes.
Well, he's going to be one of the...
I was really looking forward to seeing Hector again.
Yeah, he's going to be one of the hosts that Sirach resurrects to help Maeve fight Dolores.
Yeah.
And Dolores, Hale... destroys his pearl, so he's like permanently dead. He can't ever be brought back, and that just destroyed Maeve. Like she was just like
devastated.
Now it's personal for her.
Now she's mad.
To take on
She's
Dolores.
got some skin in the game now.
and it was great because in the scene, like she's talking to Dolores, and Dolores is like, well, I don't know what the me out there would do, but if it's anything like what I'm thinking, it'd be to kill all the people who are helping you. and like as soon as that happens, like Dolores comes in and just starts like killing Hector.
Pearls and stuff.
But Jude, she was so sad when Hector died.
That's about the gist of it.
Yeah, she was
I
like,
don't really have
no,
anything
not
to add
Hector.
to it.
It was so in my opinion, I felt like I did really enjoy this episode. It brought me back. I didn't like genre, which was the last episode we watched. I felt like that was kind of a too distracting.
I really liked genre.
Sure.
I want Jude to comment on Charlotte Hale's outfit.
The suit with the jacket with
the cape jacket.
The cape jacket.
As we were watching the episode, I was like, God, everything she wears is fantastic. Then she took off her jacket, and I was like, God damn it, that's awesome. The jacket cape, I need one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
I feel like I could really pull that off.
Do it.
Tessa Thompson was looking like quite fit in this episode.
Yeah,
she had that like skin tight shirt with like her like jacked muscles and stuff.
Is she getting ready to do Thor: Love and Thunder? Maybe
I have no idea.
Probably
I don't know what she's doing.
She's in the Marvel universe, man. Those people
great.
are all superheroes.
She pulled off some real badassery in this episode. Like when she was trying to escape Delos, and she's getting shot left and right, and then she like calls upon the
the Transformer,
the RoboCop that
part. Okay, so
riot control robot.
That was in the trailer for this season, like way, way, way back before the season even started.
I did not see that.
I saw it coming.
The whole episode, I was like, I'm gonna see the Transformer.
Because I thought the scene was so cool in the trailer that the whole time I've been watching this show, I'm waiting for the hallway scene. Where's the hallway? Where's the hallway where I know Hale's going to be stuck between her and a bunch of cops or whatever they are, security guards.
I just call that thing Ed 209.
Ed 209.
That's the reboot. So
it was a cool scene though.
Like that scene where it picked up one of the guards and threw him.
And it splashes in the water.
And Hale's like expert marksmanship, just dropping the security guards left and right. And then we got to talk about the ending.
Well, hold on. We haven't even talked about the beginning yet.
Okay.
No, I wanted to comment on Maeve's, except for the conversation that she had with the broken Dolores version in the simulation. I felt like her whole thing, this was just a waste of time. It was just to get her from point A to point B. We have to remember where Maeve is? Because she was in there, fighting Nazis?
I really thought we were going to see a connection in timelines this episode. So I'm hopeful that will happen in the next episode, because I really feel like we're dealing with a couple of different timelines.
I don't think we are.
I don't think so either. I feel like this is all pretty much linear as up till now.
Fine.
I'm serious.
Well, I think they listened to the feedback from season 2, and they're like, we got to cool it on the alternate timeline.
Yeah, season 2 was rough. But I just felt like Maeve, she could have been doing something so much more useful than just let's go have a boxing match with a bunch of Nazis in a simulation for however long.
Are you mad because you didn't make anyone a sandwich?
No, it doesn't matter.
well, she had to basically wait, and while she was waiting, she was like, "I'm just gonna flex my power muscles here."
I don't know. I just felt like why are we watching somebody waiting? I feel like it just felt like a waste of time to me.
It was a fun way to get what's his name back, the guy with the limp,
the writer.
Yeah,
the
writer guy.
Yeah, Lee Sizemore.
I liked that. He's like, I've made it so that nobody knows I'm here.
They don't even see him. I love that.
He's like, I don't really exist, so why bother?
And then that brief time period where Hector kind of comes back, and
that felt like a waste of time. Like, hey, we have to bring Hector back just so we can kill him for dramatic effect.
That's why
that wasn't a waste of time though. That wasn't a waste of time, because you finally got to see Maeve and the real Hector reconnect, and so it was that much more devastating when Hector died, because you finally got to see
get him back.
She just got him back, and he finally knew who he was, and then dead.
I would have liked him. Maybe it's just because I wanted to see more Hector. I wanted to see Hector kick ass.
I hope that we'll get to see Clementine again too.
Oh, so Hax Dogma's video, he did a zoom in on one of the tablets, and she is one of them.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm like, Clementine coming back. So I mean, I really did enjoy this episode. It was better than the last one, but I felt like there was a couple points where it was like they were just kind of spinning their wheels a little bit, and I wish that there would have been some more movement.
I felt like it was pedal to the metal from the get go. Like it was a really exciting episode. It was very tense. Sirach is really painting himself as the bad guy right now.
Yeah.
Like he's doing a lot of power moves that are super villainy.
I liked how Dolores, the broken Dolores, kind of called Maeve out. Like, aren't you doing kind of the same thing that I'm doing? Like that conversation, again, we're talking about it again, but that conversation was really cool. Like the dynamic that they had, and it kind of made Maeve think a little bit. I'm really interested in what Matt Vader thinks about this episode. You look bored out of your skull right now. Why did you? Is there anything in this episode that you didn't hate?
There were some cool parts, the whole Transformer crowd control robot was fun, I guess. Like I said before, I like the aesthetic of the show. It's very futuristic, but not so far futuristic ahead that doesn't seem unreasonable. I don't enjoy this show.
Not into any of the
I'm tired
characters.
of talking about it.
Only got two more episodes left.
Yeah, man. I don't know. It's just not for me.
Okay.
That's it.
Anything that you particularly hated in this episode, where you were like, "Oh my god!"
I would like for Dr. Evil to not be a hologram for one time in the show.
Who's that?
Kind of cool.
Sirach.
Yeah.
Was he a hologram in this episode?
He's always a hologram. He's flying around his little plane up in orbit. And
when Hale killed everyone in that board meeting and Sirach was a hologram.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. So he's just kind of like this presence.
And I'm super excited because they announced this week that we're going to get a season 4.
Yes.
Nice.
So I got more of this nonsense to talk about next year.
Just admit it and get
It'll
on
probably
board,
be 2
man.
years from now.
Yeah,
God, I hope
wow.
so. I hope
They can't start production until this stupid COVID thing's over with.
But more than that, it usually takes 2 years to just make a season of the show.
HBO likes to dangle them out there for a while.
Speaking of HBO dangling stuff in front of us, what's
Nice segue.
yeah, thanks. What's the deal with Game of Thrones? Are we ever going to get that House of Dragons?
Wait, are we done talking about Westworld?
No,
here?
I'm going off on a tangent for a second. Are we going to get House of Dragons anytime soon, or is that like out of the
Define
gate?
soon.
In the next 2 to 3 years?
In this decade?
Probably not.
Yeah.
decade?
It'll come out after Wins a Winner.
Yeah, sure. I'll be holding my breath. All right, go ahead. What else you got for this?
Well, let's talk about the ending of this episode because that was like that was huge.
That was rough.
It was a rough ending. Yeah.
Oh, I like that part.
You liked
course you did.
when
that
the
was
child died. You were like, yeah, okay.
That was tough.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
like
it
when
was.
Dolores goes back home and she gets her ex-husband and her child, and she's trying to get them away from danger of Serac, basically targeting them. She gets them in her car, and she's like, "Don't worry, I'm not going to let anything happen to you." She starts driving away, and boom, her car
In
just
mid-sentence,
explodes.
she says, I can keep you sick. And she explodes.
Boom.
And the crazy thing is that Dolores actually survives the explosion.
Well, she's a robot, so it's,
And so, like, we see her crawling out of the smoking rubble that's still on fire, and she looks back and she just knows that her child and her ex are dead.
Yeah. And the only thing that really redeemed her is gone now.
Yeah, and so like now I'm wondering like what kind of character is this? Because like she's basically like like Deadpool, where she's completely melted.
She'll probably flip and go find Bernard, and he'll fix him up in some secret.
I think this is
Robot
gonna.
lab and-
I think this is gonna solidify her on being with Dolores.
Her alliance with the DeLoreans.
Yeah, the DeLoreans.
They're going to swap her Pearl out with Bernard's bodyguard or some weird, so she can have a fresh body to go out and beat people up with.
I think so.
Something.
Dolores can just print more bodies.
Yeah, she
can't
should just print another one. It'll be another. Maybe it won't be Hale though.
But the thing
New
is,
sleeve.
now Hale has like a personal vendetta against Serac.
yeah.
So
But that's a good point, though. If she does end up getting a new body, it doesn't have to be Charlotte anymore. No. It can be literally anybody, and it would make because that covers.
I think that she will probably opt to stay as Charlotte because the feelings that she got, the emotions that she got from being in Hale's body were her driving force.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Maybe they'll make a copy of Serac's body and put her Pearl in it.
Double cross,
double triple cross.
double triple cross. Yeah, I think there's a lot of exciting things that are gonna happen. I think the thing I'm most excited about is what William is gonna do. Like he's the guy that has been getting me through these episodes. Like
Me
I'm
too.
most interested in him. Like Dolores is already on her path. Maeve is already on her path, but I don't know what William's gonna do. He's a wild card. And I'm really excited to see. What were you going to say?
I'm just saying he is one character in the show I do find a little bit intriguing.
Yeah.
Kind of curious what they do with his arc.
Yeah. He's not set in any one direction. He's kind of just, he's going to do his own
I really
thing.
wish I liked this show more.
I do too. I really do too.
Yeah, we have Martin Riggs, Tango and Cash, and Bernard and Tubbs, and now William is part of that group,
Part of that trio.
Yeah. So I'm pretty excited to see where they're going to go with that.
I hope Stubbs gets his moment to shine. He keeps getting beat up, man. I want him to just take somebody out.
by Dolores.
Yeah, twice.
Constantly.
That was awful. All right, anything else you guys want to talk about this episode?
I'm looking forward to the penultimate episode. I feel like this season is expertly building towards something, and we're gonna go back with the Aaron Paul character next episode.
Yep.
And it was interesting because if you looked at the flashbacks from genre that he had, it was very similar to the therapy that William was going through in this episode. So it looks like he was being treated for something, and I think they're gonna kind of expand upon this outlier thing, and Aaron Paul is definitely going to be one of those. And I'm just looking forward to seeing how this season's going to end because I feel like they're really building up to something big.
Yeah, there's only 2 episodes left, and there's a lot to tie up in that time.
And the Rehoboam circle that shows like all like the chaos that's going on, like it just keeps getting more and more out of whack.
Yeah.
So like you just know that like things are just like going from bad to worse, going right off the rails. And it looks like we're going to get to see that Maeve Dolores Prime showdown next episode with like the samurai swords. Yeah, that looks like it's going to be pretty cool.
Round 2.
Yeah, round 2.
Dolores Prime. That's funny.
Dolores Prime and the DeLoreans. Mm-hmm. I love it.
It's like a
sounds like a
female band. Yeah. Josie and the Pussycats.
All right, guys. That's it for this episode of the Salty Nerd Podcast, specifically about Westworld. Tune in next week when we'll talk about the next episode, and we can talk about that awesome fight that's going to happen. And I can't wait to see what William does. I hope he's all in black. Put his cowboy hat back on.
He's gonna be in all white.
All white.
Think so?
Oh yeah,
all white with a white.
Well, he's already in all white.
Yeah. He's gonna change. He's in a straitjacket. Whatever. Anyway, tune in next week. We'll talk about it. Be sure to check us out on saltynerd.com. You can go there. You can view all of our content, all of our past episodes, and a bunch of awesome other new cool things that we have there, courtesy of Matthew Kadish. And you can also go to saltynerdclub.com and go straight to our Patreon if you would like to support this podcast. You can go there and donate a little bit of cheddar.
And check us out on YouTube.
And check us out on YouTube at saltynerdvideo.com. Mm-hmm. So it's like one click, guys. You just type it in. You don't have to go searching anywhere. It's just Salty Nerd Video, Salty Nerd Club, or
saltynerd.com.
Just saltynerd.com. Go there and check out our stuff. Matthew Kadish, where can they find you on the socials?
You can find me at Matthew Kadish, Kadish, on Twitter. And if they want to check out my books, kadishbooks.com.
Right on. Juju, where can they find you?
They can find me at I am Juju on the socials, and also on and also on saltynerd.com.
Thank you. Matt Vader 74, the barbarian himself. Where can they talk to you about movies?
The barbarian.
Absolutely.
Man.
Barbarian in the Boo.
Barbarian in the Boo. You can find me on the socials and Twitch at MattVader74.
Right on, guys. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Tune in next week, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace out.
Bye.